Hello everyone. Good evening.
Good
Yes,
evening.
I.
Good evening,
Yes,
sir.
I.
Yes.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone.
Okay.
Good evening.
Good evening. Shall we start our class?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, last class we were trying to understand how to create. No, you understood how to create container and all. And after that, we have seen how to create image from our own container, right? All those things we have seen, right? See, there are total 3 ways through which we can get a Docker image. One is from Docker Hub. Directly you pull image from Docker Hub. The second way is you create image from Docker container. See, these are Docker images. Total 3 ways through which we can get Docker image. One is you get from Docker Hub. Second one is you create from container. Third way is you create from Dockerfile. You can create Docker image from Dockerfile as well. That's what we are going to see in today's class. Okay, so let's do it. Let's get started now. See, Dockerfile is just a normal text file, guys. It is just a normal text file. Okay, text file in which we keep some instructions. First, we keep whatever OS that we want. Then whatever, suppose I want to install this particular software. I want to create this file. I want to create this folder, whatever. You mention all instructions. These we call Dockerfile instructions. What are the instructions? Which OS you want, which software you want, which file should be created, which folder should be created, whatever. Then from this file, we create Docker image. From this file, we create Docker image. So from that image, when you create container, that container contains all these things. Okay. So this is the third way through which we can create Docker images. Okay. So let's do it. Before that, I have a PPT, guys. Let me just open it up. Just 1 second. Let me open my PPT. Okay, so see Dockerfile instructions. Dockerfile. This is just a text file. You can see just a text file with instructions to build an image. Like a normal text file in which we keep instructions. From that we build an image. Okay, it's an automation of Dockerfile creation. Yeah, obviously, you know, we are creating Docker image in an automated manner by using this Dockerfile. So this is how instructions look like from run cmd. These we call Dockerfile instructions. I'll show you all those instructions one by one. See, the simple 4 steps. First step is you create a file named Dockerfile. First, you need to create a file. Guys, that file name must be Dockerfile. D must be capital and there is no space between Docker and file. That is how they have given. We have to follow it. That's mandatory. Okay, just like, you know, inside where HTML folder, you need to create a file called index file. The name must be index only, right? Here also D must be capital and there should be no space between Docker and file. This is the default file. Don't change the name. Okay. So file name Dockerfile. First step, okay, create file. Second step, add instructions. That's the second step. So build a Dockerfile to create an image. So from this, you create one image and run image to create a container. So from that image, you create a container. Simple 4 steps. Got it? So fine, let's do it now. Let's create one image and let's add all instructions. You can just verify here. You can see Dockerfile instruction. You can see wherever you see the name will be Dockerfile without space. You can see wherever you see. You can see everywhere, same name. Correct? See, like that. Fine, let's do it now. Yeah, I haven't even logged into my account, AWS account, right? Let's go inside this instance. Now, first we are going to create Dockerfile. VI Dockerfile. See, D is capital and there is no space between Docker and file. Yeah. In that, see, first instruction must be from. Okay, FROM. See, make sure that instructions you are giving in a capital letters, uppercase only. Okay, instruction must be in uppercase. You should not use lowercase. I'll show you from where we can get all these instructions. That official website I'll show you. Okay, so here you can give any OS, whatever OS that you want. For example, Ubuntu. Okay, I want Ubuntu OS. See. Dockerfile. First instruction is from Ubuntu. See, from in capital letters. Yeah, let me add one simple instruction. Run. Like many instructions are there, I'll give a list of all instructions. First instruction must be from. Remember that, because after creating OS only, it can create a file, it can install a package, whatever. Right? So OS is first. So from after that, run means here you can give any Linux command. You can give any whatever Linux command that you want. For example, I would like to create a file anywhere. Let's take, okay, I would like to create a file called, say under temp, I would like to create a file called Sai file. Temp directory of this Ubuntu. Under that, I would like to create a file called Sai file. In that, I would like to put some instruction, hello Sai, something. That's what I want. Okay, so let's do it. From Ubuntu, then run. Let's create a file. Okay, simple by, I'm getting simple command echo hello underscore Sai. Okay, this I'm outputting to a file called where under temp. Under that, yeah, Sai file. That means what actually happens here. In this Ubuntu OS, temp directory will be there. Under top level root directory. In that, this file will be created. In that, this content will be kept. So run instruction, we used to run any Linux command. This is a simple Linux command, right? Correct or not? Right? So now let's read. That's it, over. Just simple 2 instructions. Now come out. See guys, after instruction, you have to use space. All instructions left side in uppercase. Then after you give that attributes like OS, run command and all like that. Now, that's it. Now what is the next step? The next step is from this file, I'm going to create one image. You can give whatever image name that you want. I would like to give an image called Sai test img. Any name. Okay. So this process we call build. Okay, building an image from Dockerfile. Okay. So to build an image, the command is docker build -t. T means tag. Tag means what is the tag name that you want to give to that image? Sai test img. Okay, TST, right? Okay. Sai test img. Okay, this is image. This is a tag. What is the tag that you want to give to that one? So the tag name is this. Okay, and you are creating this image from which file? Dockerfile. Correct. So these are Dockerfile, right? But here actually we need to mention the Dockerfile, but you need not to mention. No need. Why? Because default file itself, name itself Dockerfile. That's why even if you don't mention it, by default it will look for that file. But you have to mention the location of the Dockerfile. So where is that location? Dockerfile is in my current directory. That's why you give dot. That means I'm saying that you please create this image from Dockerfile. I did not mention the name of that Dockerfile because if you don't mention, by default it will look for Dockerfile. Where? In my current directory. That's what. Okay. Suppose this file is in some other location, you have to mention the path clearly. For example, assume that this file is under home directory. Assume. So in place of this, you have to mention like this /home /dot. That means under home directory, that file is /home /dot. Okay. Since that is in my current directory, that's why I mentioned only dot. Okay. If you don't mention the file name, it will look for this file. Later on, I'll tell you how to change the name of that file also, that I'll tell. That's it. Over. Press enter. You can see total 2 instructions got executed. 1 by 2, 1 of 2, 2 of 2. Right? So finally, it created one image called site test img. How to verify Docker images? You can see site test img. That image is. Okay. From this image, now we are going to create one container. You're going to create one container. Okay. Any name you can go. Okay, I'll give site test container. Site test container. And you know, right, how to create container. Docker and -it. Yeah, you know this command. So you change the name. Site test container. From which image? This is site test img. Right? Site test container, site test img. That's it. Just run it. That's it. Where are you now? You are inside container. Correct? So that container must have Ubuntu OS, and under temp directory, you should be able to see that SAI file inside some content. Let's verify whether that is there or not. Under temp directory, you should be able to see that file having some content. Let's verify. Do ls. Yeah, temp is there. You can take any directory. I took temp. You can take any directory. See here, under temp directory, do ls. You can see SAI file is there. Let's open that file. Cat SAI file. You can see this is the content that we kept. So that is how it works. And obviously it is having Ubuntu OS only because we took Ubuntu only, right? etc OS-release. That's it. You can see it will have Ubuntu. So that is how we create Docker images from Dockerfile. Got it? That is how we do it. I hope you understood. This is the third way through which we can create Docker images from Dockerfile. Okay, fine. Now what we'll do, let's add more instructions. At least you understood the basics, right? Now let's create a file and let's add more instructions. What actually we do, these Docker files only we store in GitHub. We write so many Docker files, those we store in GitHub. Anyways, that I'm going to explain later on. Just to give you a thought, I'm explaining. These Docker files we store in GitHub so that everyone can use. Yeah, now let's come out. Open that file, Docker file. Let's add some more instructions. You might be thinking, Sai, I want to create more Docker files. Then how is it possible? Like I told you, right? Hey, don't change the name. But if I want to create multiple Docker files, how to do it? Yes, you can do that. I'll give one simple example, guys. There's a plate in your house. Plate. Early morning, you took breakfast in the plate. Okay. Then after that, for lunch, to have lunch, you buy a new plate. No need, right? Once you finish your breakfast, that's it. You just clean it up and you can use the same plate again for lunch. Then after that, for dinner also, you can use the same plate. Here also same thing. Once you finish your work, Docker file, we have written some instructions. We created image. Once you create an image, then there won't be any relation between these two. No, there is no relation. So that's why after creating image, what do you do? You add commit and you push so that this file will be stored in Docker, GitHub, right? Then after that, open that file again. You edit as per your needs. Okay. Again, you create one more image. Like that. That's so we use the same file again and again. But no, say I want to create separate file itself. Yeah, that is also there, which I'm going to explain just in a couple of minutes. Let me open the same file. Let me edit this. Okay, in that, let me add some more instructions. Okay, from Ubuntu. In place of this, you can take CentOS also, that is up to you. Then, yeah, some more instruction. Let me add those things. First instruction must be from. After that, you can add any instruction anywhere, doesn't matter. Okay. Work dir, there is an instruction called work dir. Whatever, okay, temp. Okay. Whatever. Temp. I mean, generally for testing and all, we use temporary directory. That's the reason I'm taking temp. Or you can take etc, you can take whatever you want. That is up to you. Okay. Then, okay, run. I would like to create one more file called hi Raj. Raj. You might be thinking, Sai, just you are keeping small content. What if you want to deal with the big files? That also I will explain. I would like to create this file under etc. The file name must be Raj file. Okay. One more instruction. Just now focus on instructions, not what we are doing, where we are doing, just what kind of instruction we are doing. Then one more instruction. Let me first write, then I will explain. env, my name, I'll use I. Let me write, then I will explain all these things. And one more instruction, copy is there. Let me create, okay, I'll create a file called DevOps file, where we'll copy under any other directories. You know, many directories are there. Okay, temp. We keep just all temporary things, you know, testing and all, we do it in temp directory under temp. Or else /home directory. That's also fine. Then one more instruction, add instruction is there. This one. Okay, Linux .gz. Zip file also we can deal with this one. Copy under root. Not fine. ODR run env copy. Okay. Now let me explain what actually we are doing. We are trying to do. See, these are instructions from workdir, run, env, copy, add. Like these are some instructions. I'll introduce some more instructions later. This is my EC2 instance. EC2 instance. This is Dockerfile, in which we kept all these instructions. Now what I'll do, from this file, I'll create one image. Correct? Then from that image, I'm going to create one container. I'll create this container. This is going to be a container. So in that container, we should be able to see all these things. So let's try to understand what are the things which are going to happen. First, Ubuntu. That means this OS must be Ubuntu. Correct? Then workdir/temp. That means when you log into your container, generally by default, you'll be under top level root directory by default. When you log into container, by default, you'll be under top level root directory. But if you give workdir/temp, whatever directory you give, when you log in by default, you'll be under temp directory. By default, that is how it is. Okay, by default, you'll be under temp directory. Your working directory would be temp directory because we have given that one here. Okay. Later on, we can go here and there, but when you log in by default, you'll be there. Then I'm giving simple run instruction. Run means you can give any Linux command here. Okay, so what actually it is going to do it under etc directory. It is going to create one file called Raj file. In that, it is going to put some content called hello Raj. Correct? Okay. Then env. Env means environment variables. Let me explain this. What is environment variable? Anyways, in Ansible class, we are going to discuss in a detailed manner. But here, let me explain in a simple terms what is environment variables. Suppose, see, there is a file. In that file, okay, we have around 1 lakh places are there like this. Yeah, okay. So, see, who is our Prime Minister? Narendra Modi, right? Right now, the Prime Minister name is Mr. Narendra Modi. In this file, in all 1 lakh places, I need to mention our Prime Minister's name, Indian Prime Minister's name. That's a task. So in all these places, I'm going to mention Modi. Like this, all 1 lakh places. 1 lakh places. Okay, first time I have mentioned. Obviously, it's a big task, right? 1 lakh places means a big task. Okay, I have mentioned. After 5 years, may or may not change. Okay, let's assume that we need to change. Okay, see, we need maybe some after 5 years, assume that there could be some other Prime Minister X, Y, Z. So after 5 years, I need to change the name here. That in all 1 lakh places. That's a big headache, right? Correct? 1 lakh places. Okay. That you are doing after 5 years. What if you want to do the same kind of task every day? Is it possible to change that name, any name, in all 1 lakh places? Is it possible? No, it's impossible. Correct? It's impossible. So to address these kind of issues, we have a concept called variables, or you can call environment variables. Okay, that concept is there in every programming language. So here what we do to address this issue, we use variables. Like we are going to mention like this. PM equal to Modi. That's how you are going to define. Okay, here PM we call variable, PM. Okay, PM variable. It is holding one value, that is Modi. Okay, the PM, these key and value pairs we call. Key value. Okay. So PM equal to key here, Modi equal to value, and PM is variable also, you can call variable also here. So this key is holding one value. What is that value? Modi. Correct? Okay. Now what we do? In these places, see, this is what we call defining variable. Defining. I have defined one variable, PM equal to Modi. PM is a variable here. So PM is holding one value, that is Modi. Right? Now in these places, in the file, we are going to mention key. This one. PM. It's only one-time effort. You mentioned in all 1 lakh places. Okay. Now, when you run this file, automatically this variable, this one will be replaced with respective value. What is the value? Respective value? Modi. Correct or not? Automatically, these all 1 lakh places will be replaced with the name Modi. Okay. After 5 years, you need to change some, X, Y, Z, assume. Now, here just in one place you change here. Just here you change, only one place. And you run that file again, execute that file again. Automatically, all these places will be replaced with respective current value. That is how it is going to work. Okay. So it's a smart work, right? This is what we call defining variable. Okay, defining variable. Just to make our lives easy. In every programming language, we have this kind of concept. In Ansible, we are going to do it in a big way. But here just, kind of quick introduction. Now here also same thing, guys. Same thing here also. You can see here I am defining variable. env, environment variable. What I am defining? My name, Sai. This is a key. This is a value. So inside container, wherever you give my name, that will be replaced with Sai. I'll show you that one. So here we just define variable. So wherever you mention key, when you run, automatically that will be replaced with Sai automatically. Okay, that is how. Okay, that means here variable, anyways, I'm going to show you. Copy and add. These two instructions we used to copy something from your base machine. Something from your base machine. See here, it's a simple content I'm keeping here. But what if I need to deal with a big file? Okay, I want to create a big file, lot of content. By using simple echo command, we can't do it, right? That much of thing. So that time, what actually we do, we create file, we keep that file in base machine. For example, assume that I have created one file. The file name is DevOps file. In that file, I kept some content, whatever. Okay. So this I can copy to my container. How? By using copy instruction. That means, see, when you create an image, that time itself, this file will be copied to this image that you can see in the container. That's it. So copy, what I'm copying, DevOps file. This is the file in base machine. See, I'm not giving any path here, any path. If I don't give path, it will look for the current directory. Current directory means right now I'm in which location in a base machine. I'm under, if you don't give path, it will look for from the current directory. Assume that this file is in some other location, you have to give a path. Okay, DevOps file, which is there in my base machine. That I am copying where here, this is a destination. Under home directory of my container. That means under home directory, this file will be copied like this. Okay, what is the file? DevOps file. Having whatever content you keep. That's all. So if you want to copy one file, okay, if you want to copy one file, that is fine. One file or one directory. This is copy instruction is good. But what if you have multiple files? Suppose some, files or directories, anything. Assume that I have some 100 files or directories. I would like to copy. You can't give these many copy instructions at 100 copy instructions. So if you want to deal with many things, more files and directories, if you want to copy anything from base machine, for that we use add instruction. Add instruction. Assume that, see, there are so many files or directories, group of. So what I'll do, I'll apply, see, there is a big directory. There is a directory called Linux directory. Assume the directory name is Linux directory. In the Linux directory, there are so many files and folders. So what I do, I would like to copy entire Linux directory. So here what we do, we keep, Linux directories, right? We apply tar and zip. Right, how to apply tar and zip? We apply tar and zip. Okay. Then we give add instruction. When you have tar and zip file, okay, that you give add. For that, you have to give add instruction. So this also, it does copy only, but it deals with tar and zip files. Where I'm copying under root directory. But the beauty is here, after it gets copied, this tar and zip will be automatically removed. Okay, that Linux directory will be there without tar and zip. Automatically that will be extracted. That task will be done by add instruction. That is, so you need not extract. Here again, automatically those will be extracted. That means simple. Copy instruction copies file or directory as it is. Add instruction, after copying, automatically it removes tar and zip. Okay, that's what I'm repeating. Copy instruction copies file or directory as it is. Add instruction, after copying, it will remove tar and zip automatically. Okay, that is so actually it works. Like you can add any number of instructions. For example, I would like to, let's do it. We'll do it in other file. Okay, I'd like to install more packages and all those things. We do it by creating some other file. Okay. See, in order to perform this action, there are some prerequisites. What are those? In your base EC2 instance, you should have this file, DevOps file. Correct? DevOps file. And you should have a Linux file with the tar and zip. Correct? So first, let's create these two in base machine. Let's read now. V8 DevOps file. Okay, VI DevOps file. Enter. In that, whatever content you want. Hello, dear DevOps file. Whatever content you want, you can keep. Okay, kept a lot of content. File is DevOps. Let me remove all unnecessary files. RMF, not this file one. DevOps file is there. Let me create one folder called Linux. mkdir Linux. Okay, I created one folder. In that folder, let me create some files. Okay. Files, directories, whatever. CD Linux. In that, I'm going to create some multiple files like touch file 1. One double dot file. So I'm creating some 5 files. Correct? Do ls. Yeah, 5 files, some directories. mkdir, that two, one inside and the one -p. Directory A / directory B / directory C. Right? One inside and the one. Tree. So tree is not there. Let's install tree. Install tree -5. Yeah. Okay, now type tree. You can see inside Linux folder, I have some directories, some files, so many things on there. Right? Let's come on. See guys, there is a file called DevOps file, and there's a directory called Linux directory having subdirectory, subfiles. Correct? Okay. Now let's apply tar and zip in this Linux file. You know, right? How to apply tar? First, tar -cvf create verbose forcefully. Then output is going to be linux.tar and from which directory? Linux directory. Okay, that's it. See here, apply tar, then apply zip, zip. Guys, these things we discussed in Linux. Zip linux.tar, right? That's it. Now do ls. Now let's remove. We don't need this one anymore. We have applied tar and zip, right? RMF and RF. Now it is fine. You can see. In my base machine, we have a file called DevOps file, right? And we have a folder, Linux folder is there, but we apply tar and zip. Correct? Okay. Now that Docker file is there. Let's run this Docker file. From the Docker file, I'm going to create one image. So to this image, let's give any name to this image. Which name will give? What is today? Wednesday. Or some sample image. Okay. Sample img. I'm creating an image called sample img. From that, I'm going to create a container called sample container. Whatever name, that's up to you guys. Let's do it now. See, like this, you can use previous commands, right? You need not to type again and again. So I would like to create one image called sample img. Sample img. From which Docker file? These are Docker file, which is there in my current directory only. That's why I'm giving dot. Done. But it will throw an error. Why? Because see, do we have these files? This file and folder? No, yeah, already we created, right? Yes. File is there, these things are there, so it won't throw any error. Okay, let's create an image called sample image. Enter. Yeah, you can see it executed all instructions. 1 of 6, 2 of 6, 3 of 6, 4 of 6, total 6 of 6. That's it. Right now we are ready with an image. See, this image is ready. Now let's create container out of that image. So how to do it? Already earlier we created container. Yeah. So Docker and -it, -name, sample container. The container name is sample container. From which image? Sample img. Okay, sample container, sample img. That's it, bin bash. Now enter. Okay, so let's verify all these things. Where are you now? Under temp directory. Correct? That's what we have done. Yes, you are under temp directory. That's a working directory, right? We mentioned. And second instruction, see, first instruction we mentioned Ubuntu. Yeah, obviously that OS will be Ubuntu only. Cat etc os-release. You can see Ubuntu only. That means first instruction. You can see first instruction is successful. Same. Second instruction also successful because right now we are under temp directory only by default. What is the third instruction? We created one file called Raj file under etc directory having content called hello Raj. Okay, let's go inside etc directory. cd/etc. Do ls. Something should be there with Raj. Here you can see there is a file called Raj file, right? Yeah, Raj file got created. Let's open cat Raj file. Yeah, hello Raj. Correct? The same content we kept, right? Here you can see. Yeah, Raj file under hello Raj, right? Then coming to next instruction 4 of 6 environment variables. My name Sai. Sai, what is Sai? Wherever you mention my name, that should be replaced with Sai, right? Just for testing purpose, you can do like this: echo $ my name. See, with that variable name key, you have to give $ in Linux. Remember that. That's a convention. You have to. If it is Windows, we give %. In Linux, we give $. Just remember that, because in Jenkins also we are going to use these variables a lot. In Ansible also we are going to use. Okay. So echo means whatever you give, that will be repeated. Correct? That's what. But it will show its respect to value, which is stored here. Verify. Echo $ my name. What is showing? Showing Sai. That means wherever you give $ my name, that will be replaced with name called Sai. Okay. How we are going to execute and all in Ansible class, you will understand. But just it's an introduction to variables. Okay. Fourth one also success. Then after that, copy instruction. We use copy instruction. We use it, right? What actually did, it copied this file to /home directory. That means under home directory, there should be a file called DevOps file, right? Okay, let's go to home directory, cd/home. Okay, /home. Enter. Do ls. Yeah, DevOps file is there. Let's open that file. Cat DevOps file. You can see the content is there. Hello dear DevOps file. Whatever content we kept. That means this instruction also success. Then what is the final instruction? Add. So this linux.tar.gz file got copied under /root. That too, tar and zip should be removed automatically. That's what I said, right? That's what add instruction does, right? Okay, let's go inside root directory, cd/root. Enter. Do ls. Yeah, you can see this folder. You can see, do you find tar and zip? No, that got completely removed. Correct or not? Simple folder. Okay, now, yeah, you can see if you go inside directory, you can see all those files and folders. You can see the directory A, all these files. If you go inside directory A, you can see all these structure. We can install tree, right? Apt install tree. This package also we can install in this Dockerfile itself. In the Dockerfile, we give one more run instruction. We run this command apt install tree. So by default inside container, you can able to see tree package also. So everything we can do. As of now, it is not there. That's what I'm saying. Why it is throwing an error? See. Why? Because you need to run first apt update -5. Apt update -5. First you have to update the things, then only how to install the package. Now let's install tree. Okay, now type tree. You can see whatever directories we created, whatever files, everything you can see. You can see remove tar and zip automatically got extracted. Right? So that is how it works. Okay, these are some instructions. Okay. Now, yeah. So I hope you understood how this Dockerfile this works. Let me do it by using some other file. That's what I said, right? What if we want to change the file? Say I want to change the file name. So how to do it? That's what we are going to see. Actually, it's not good that you are changing the file. That's not recommended. But still I want to change the file. I want to have one more different file, Dockerfile. Then how to do it? Okay, that also you can do. Assume that I would like to create a Dockerfile name file. Okay, so VI file. I want this should work like a Dockerfile. Yeah. Okay. Open that file. In that, okay, let's add some more, main instruction like from whatever CentOS, Ubuntu, whatever you want. Okay, Ubuntu. Run instruction I'm giving. Run apt update. Apt update -5. Then okay, if you want to run multiple Linux commands, run apt install tree. I would like to install tree. I would like to install git. I would like to install, whatever package. Okay, let's mention other two. You can see apt install tree git -5. Like that, we can give package names like this. If you want to run multiple Linux commands, either you can give multiple run instructions like this. You can give multiple run instructions like this, or one more shortcut is there, that is two shortcuts are there. Those are, for example, you want to create file also. What you can do, you give semicolon, okay, space, give one more, like touch. I would like to create a file. Touch, test file. Okay. Demo file. Where you are creating, if you are not giving any path, means that will be created in current directory inside container. So when you log into container, you will be under top level root directory, right? So this demo file will be created there. No, say I want to create in some other location, then you can give whatever location that like temp. See here, I am giving multiple Linux commands. This is one separate command. This is one separate command. Like you give one more semicolon, you give one more, like that. Or one more way is there, that is instead of give colon, semicolon space, double end symbol. Okay, like this. So if you want to differentiate two Linux commands, either you can give semicolon space or double end symbol. Same thing, it works. Okay, fine. Now, yeah, one more if you want, you can give. Okay, I would like to run one more Linux command, that is apt install Apache 2. Okay, like you can add any instruction, whatever you want. Okay, so as of now, it is going to install two packages. It is going to create one file, right? Okay, now let's run it. Now, escape colon. See, these are different file, guys. Completely. This sci file is not a main Docker, it's a different file. So from this different file, sci file, if you want to build an image, then command is, see, actually this image name we give, right? Okay, so that image name, what name you want to give? I would like to give image name called, you can give any image, for example, Rahul image. I'm taking my friend's names, guys. Okay, Rahul image. From that, I'll create a container called Rahul container. Okay, what is the Docker file name? Sci file. Remember that. Okay. See that Docker image which I'm going to create, that image name is going to be Rahul. Rahul image. This image will be created from Dockerfile, but the Dockerfile name is not not actually Dockerfile. The name is Cypher, right? So if you change a Dockerfile name, you have to hyphen F here. F means a file. F means file. What is the file you are giving? Cypher. Okay, here hyphen F. F means file. What is the file? Cypher. If you change the file, you have to add this one. F, that different Docker file. Here, dot means where is that file? That is here in my current directory. Correct or not? Suppose if it is in another directory, I told you, right? Okay, it is under home /show /dot. Like that you can give. Okay. Fine. Now let's do it. Enter. It will show output also, while installing the package and all. The package we have given, right? Tree package, Git package, update we have given, right? We'll show that all output also. Because what? Those will be installed in this Docker file itself, right? Correct or not? Then when you create container, then you can see those things, the file, package, everything. So those actually will be installed in Docker file. Okay, then you can see Rahul image is ready. Now verify Docker images. Rahul image. So this we created from different Docker file, right? That is not recommended, but that also way is it. That's how I have shown you. Now from this, let's create a container. Okay, Docker run -it -name. What is the container name? I would like to create a name called Rahul container. Rahul container. Which image? Rahul image. Rahul image bin bash. That's it. Enter. You are inside container. Now, yeah, you can see all those packets like, which tree. Tree is there. See, tree already we installed it. Which Git. We did not install Apache 2, right? Okay. So which Apache 2. It will say that, hey, Apache 2 is not there. So it's not giving any output means that is not there in Ubuntu. Remember that. Okay, if it is there, it would have shown you like user bin. No, Apache 2. Then we created one file, right? Under temp, ls/temp. Yeah, you can see demo file. Like that. That's how it works. Right? And we already executed apt update. So even if you execute now, apt update -y, it won't show any output. Maybe it is checking. You can see. Yeah, it is saying that, hey, already it's up to date. Because already we executed, right? That one while creating Docker image itself. That's why no outputs, no updates. That is how it works. Okay. So this is the third way through which we can create Docker images. Now you might be thinking, sorry, where we use Git here, GitHub. That just I'll use it at the end of Docker class, but let me give you a thought. See here. This is one Docker file. This is one more file. As of now, 2 Docker files are there. What we do, we keep these 2 in one folder. Okay, suppose a text folder. These 2 files are there. We go inside that folder. We install Git here. By going inside that folder, we run Git in it. This folder, you can assume that in Git, we have Mumbai Git is right. You can assume that that's the folder. We go inside this one, we run Git in it. Then it will become, 3 stages: workspace, staging area, local repository. Then we add, commit, and push. This one, then we push to Docker. Sorry, GitHub. That's how we are going to do. I'll do it, not now, at the end of this class. Okay. That's just to give you a thought. I have explained it. Yeah, that's what pretty much Dockerfile. And yes, tomorrow next class also we'll add few more volume instructions and all those things also we are going to discuss. So these are advanced topics. Right? Mainly this Dockerfile we discussed, that's advanced, and volumes we are going to discuss in next class. That is also advanced. volume mapping, or you can call volume export. Then port mapping, port export, that also we are going to discuss. That's also advanced. Then we are going to discuss Docker Hub. Okay, how to upload images to Docker Hub, how to share to others. Then also we'll discuss Docker networking part and all, right? IP addresses, port numbers and all. So all these pretty advanced topics are there. So slowly we'll discuss one by one. Got it? Yeah, that's it, guys, for today. Pretty much. If you have any doubts, you can ask me.